Hello everybody, it's the Farm Sim Guy here, hope you're all doing well. We're on a new map today. When I say it's a new map, it's certainly a new map in terms of me looking at it, but it's been around for a while, but I thought I would revisit this map. It's been out for well over a year now, but I know there's a lot of new people to FS19 who are always looking for good big maps, so we are here today on Hazzard County, Georgia. Now, this map is brilliant. It's by NitroDad1115. It's an absolutely brilliant map. It's a 4x map, obviously PC only. I must get that out of the way straight away. But it's fantastic. I mean, talk about a map that has so much stuff in it and so much detail and so much variety that you could play this for days and weeks and months and never get around to doing everything. So what we'll do a very quick map tour. Because there's so much here, this potentially could turn into a massive video if I'm not careful. So I'm just going to touch on the surface of a lot of things and leave it up to you guys to go and discover what you want about it. We're on the starting farm here, but what I'll let me just jump into the PDA so you can see what's what here. So like I said, there's so much to do here. I won't even start on the sell points and the buy points at the moment. Let's just look at the amount of fields in here. So many fields. I think we've got 118 in total, ranging from really, really small stuff to some nice size ones in fields 79 and 40. And if you jump in, I've bought some of this land here, but the prices are not too offensive. 79 is a big field there, 391,000. And then you can buy this big swathe of land here with all these fields in for 1.6 million. And it's broken up into, various sections from large to small. Forestry areas as well, which you can purchase, and yeah, just lots and lots of variety, lots and lots of choice. As you can see, an extensive road network as well. There's a main road running north to south and another one just here, but lots of back lanes, lots of dirt lanes, lots of roads through the forestry area as well to get in and out of there. There are 2 trains as well on this map, one that runs along this line here, and then there's a loop that runs constantly around the map as well. You can jump in and drive those and utilize those for moving your products around and your crops and stuff. So we'll look at those again in a little minute as well. Now, what I want to do, let me just zoom in here. This is your start point. This is your initial farm, and NitroDad calls this a bit of a challenge farm. You'll see you actually get quite a lot of land with it when you start. So this whole area, lots of small fields, but you are up on a bit of a mountain here. So you've got to drive down. Access to some of these fields is a little bit more challenging, shall we say. But in principle, it's a really nice start point. Lots of variety there in the fields. But what we'll try and do for this map, we'll have a quick look at this. Quick look at this farm. And then we're going to drive down to here because there's so many sell points and some interesting sell points down here that I want to show you in this bottom left-hand corner. And then we'll run up, we'll have a look at some of the farms. I think there are 7 farms in total, although there are other outcrops that aren't classed as farms without farmhouses on them. So there's probably more than that in total. But we'll have a look at those and we'll try and loop all the way back round. And probably the last thing we'll do is jump on the railroad and have a ride round so you can see it from that perspective. Have a little bit of a look at the forestry area as well, and get to grips with that. But so much to do here and so much to see. And actually, what's nice about it as well, it's so well finished. There's some lovely, lovely touches to this map, which make it, my view on authentic maps that make them feel kind of real and have life to them. Hazzard County absolutely does that. So let's have a quick tour of the first farm. So let's have a quick look around the first farm. You've got storage there from those silos. This is your cow point here, so you can keep your cows. There's a nice, I think this is a nice garage in here. Oh no, that's the milk point. Now if we head down here, storage. There's a pig pen over there. Nice big storage shed here. There's the garage and repair point. Again, just the detail, lovely, lovely pig pens. Look at the detail and just really, really nice. Feels real. So in total, that's what you've got for the farm. Like I said, you're on the top of a cliff. So to actually get anywhere, you've got to run down some interesting roads to get to them. I'll just run up onto this mound here and show you what's what. But yeah, you're surrounded by trees on all four sides, or cliffs. So lots to do. There is also a horse pasture here as well, just over here. So you've got a long road down to that horse pasture. But lovely layout of that horse pasture. Again, real character in these buildings. So if you just jump back to the main farmhouse, you'll recognise this already. It's been a lot of maps, this farmhouse. But we've got a bridge over there that takes us out to the railroad, or we can head the other way and pick up some of the main roads. Now, one of the nice touches here, some of us of a certain age will recognise the name Hazzard County and the old Dodge Charger there of the Dukes of Hazzard, the General Lee, which actually is included in the download of the map, and it's just fun. Nice touch. I like that. We're not going to take the General Lee today. I'll leave that for you to explore and find out about if you download this map. We're going to take this Dodge Ram, and we are going to head down to some of those big sell points. So what we'll do, you can see now, if I drive out of here, I'll put the mini-map up, although I'm not sure how much help it's going to be, because the map is so big that you kind of lose your bearings a little bit. I think it'll take a little bit of time. Well, that's another thing worth pointing out, actually. There is dynamic mud on this map, which is great as well. So he's added that in as a default, which is good, and it's not as oppressive as the real mud mod, so you're less likely to get stuck in it. But it is a nice touch. So let's head down to the sell points. We'll drop onto the real road off these winding back tracks, and we'll see what we arrive at next. So there we go. As we drop down off the hill here, we meet some tarmac for the first time, and what you've got here is a grain bin, and this is actually the TMR factory, so you can drop off your product here and get it turned into TMR. It's a little silage factory there, they call that. So you don't have to have that on site. You can get it created there and sell it on, which is good. Now if we drive down here, we're going to come up to the main road, the first main road of the map. So there's some quite nice placeables on here as well. As you can see, there's a nice KFC there and a Wendy's. Now none of these are sell points, these are just placeables. So you can't sell, like West Texas, you can't sell to these. They're just there for decoration. But like I said, when you drive along this road, it feels really, really authentic. There's a McDonald's as well, but we will not stop for a burger just now, because there is a whole heap of sell points that I want to look at. So just as we pull up, this is where the entrance to a lot of the sell points is. Now before I go in there, I'll just show you this farm as well, because this is another one of the farms that you can utilise. Again, they're broken up quite nicely, so you've got this rather large cowshed down here and dairy for milking them, and then if you drive up the hill, the rest of the farm is kind of positioned on top of this little rise. So there's your bins and your dryer. There is some sheds there, some underground sheds as well, which is quite nice. And if we just head over here, more pig pens, similar to the ones that you've seen before. And tucked around the corner here is a route back to the yard. So nicely done there. Again, more storage from those silos, and this really nice big cowshed with all the relevant bits in it. And it does go out into quite a large pasture on the other side as well. So it's great. Really nicely done. Really nicely done. And like I said, in keeping with the rest of the map, you know, the detailing, the dirt and the wear and tear on the buildings looks really, really nice. Okay, so let's go and look at our massive chunk of sell points that we've got in here. So we're just about to pull into Flash Bakery and Hazzard Dairy. So we'll just stop here, and I'll just talk for a second about what's what here. So obviously a dairy is where you would sell your milk. We understand that. Now what they've got here at the bakery is not only eggs, but flour. So I'll take this opportunity to look at the prices on the map and all the sell points we've got. So Ace will come on to. We have a bakery, which is where we're at the moment. There's a barn where we'll sell our straw, biogas, biomass plant. Lots of grain storage points. There's a country store. There's a compost point. Daisies, and see some of these are repeated because there'll be 2 different sell points at that location. And then there's lots of different fuel sell points as well. Pig dealers, 2 sawmills. There's a supermarket, a place called White Lightning, and the farmer's market. And as I go along here, you'll see, as well as all our base crops, we start to move into, we've got rye here, which doesn't have a sell point, funnily enough, I don't know why. But further along we have fuel. So on this map you can create fuel. You can create fertiliser as well, and sell that at Central Grain. Obviously manure, digestate, pig food you can sell at Central Grain Store as well. And then we've got onions, carrots. Here you have hops, which you sell at the train depot and at White Lightning. Cabbages, red and standard. And I believe this is spelt and rye, compost, and flour. So lots and lots of variants in what you can make and sell, which is great. I love that slightly different way of looking at things. So that's the bakery and the dairy. Now we can cut through here, I believe, and then we come over to some other sell points. We've got to cross the railroad to do this, so make sure you look where you're going because those trains move fast. So over here we've got a Bale sell point. Pretty self-explanatory that one is. And then in here your biogas and your biomass plant. So what you do here is drop your wood chips into this area. That's for your biomass, and the prices are good there. And for the biogas plant, you just reverse your trailer full of silage up to here. You get paid handsomely for that, but you also have the ability to utilise the digestate that you take out of it as well here. So heading out of the biomass and biogas plants, we'll just swing a little right here and we will head along here, because what we've got here is a grain point where we can drop off any sort of grain that we need to and get it sold there. Okay, we've just turned left out of that little clump of sell points there, and we are heading along the road here to what is known as Daisies. And again, a little reference to the Dukes of Hazzard there and Daisy Duke, but what you've got in here is you've got a Bale sell point. There are 2 sell points in there with differing prices, so again, be mindful about which one you sell at. Now, we'll just quickly nip along here just because this is where the shop is. So I just want to show you where the shop is. So there you go. There is the shop, little John Deere shop, although there's some New Holland and some Massies here as well. No case, it doesn't look like. But here is also a fuel sell point. So if you've made fuel, that's one of the many places you can sell. I think there's 5 in total. Now, probably one of your next questions is, I'm sorry, fuel sell point? Does that mean I can make fuel on this map? And yes, indeed you can. And we'll head down and have a look at that in a little minute. So back towards Daisies here, we're going to hang a right just here, because we're going to stop at a sawmill and a flour mill. So we're just pulling up here as the train goes past. Only just saw him coming. But as you can see, there's a number of different types of carriage on the train there, so you can move a lot of stuff around the map if you want. Find the best sell point for it. So here we go. Like I said before, as well as the main farms, there's lots of little little places like this. So if you wanted to start small, you could buy one of those plots of land and give it a go that way. So we've basically come to the end of the road here. What I'm going to do is turn in here, because this runs us down over this little bridge here into a rather large sawyard, which is connected to the railway line again. So the railway line loops round there. So there you go, you can see the railway line. So you can drop off your logs and stuff here. Now one of the nice touches they've got here, they've got these FDR logging Caterpillar excavators with a logging arm on them. So you can unload your logs either from your truck onto here and then load them onto the train, or you can take them off the train and drop them off here as you see fit. But that's a nice little touch because they're just sitting there the whole time. I'm just going to be careful before I run across the lines. So yeah, logs and wood chips sell points there. And then on the other side, let's just pull through here, you have got flour mill. And this is pretty straightforward as well. But you can drop your wheat, barley, whatever off here. Just reverse up into the grain point and unload as you would. And we'll do that. And while he's unloading, if you go around here and into here, you can load up with flour in here and take it to the bakery that we were at before. So again, another option for just a different way of doing things. I quite like that. I love the flour idea, actually. It's a really kind of logical thing to have on a farming map. So we'll say goodbye to the sawmill there and the flour mill. Head back across the bridge here, and now rather than taking the road back, we're going to go straight on. These are roads technically, they're just not paved. And what we're going to do is we are going to head over to the ethanol plant. So again, something nice about this that we haven't had before is what do you do with corn? You just sell it, right? You just sell it to a grain bin and that's it done. So here you can make your own biodiesel. Hogg Bio-Diesel, there you go, the corniest diesel in the county. 75% corn, 25% water. So I've set this up, whereas I've unloaded a load of corn in here and from this water tanker over here unloaded with water as well. And then you just pull under this point, this unload point here. And now one of the options you've got available to you is you can unload the water that you've put in back out, or we've obviously used all the corn already, or you can unload diesel. So you can fill your tank with diesel there, and you can go and sell that at one of the many fuel sell points. And I believe there are 5. There's one there, one there, one there. 3 quite close together. There's another one there. And I think there's another one over there. So lots of options. Check the right price for those. But yeah, just something a little bit different than just cutting your corn and selling it. I'm sure you'll get a higher price for it as well. So one to consider. So we're running right along the edge of the map here. And as you'll see, we'll arrive back at the shop that we were at before. Now we could head straight on up there. You can do that, and it will take you up right up the edge of the map here, past fields, 78, 77, 76, 75, all the way up to the top if you wanted. But there's not much there. I mean, that's just fields. We can go and explore that. What we'll do is we'll turn here and we'll head back in past Daisy's, and we're going to head up the main road because there's a few more things to see there. And up past some of the farms to give you an idea of some of those, and then we'll head over here as well. So just as we're heading back into town now, we've driven past that main clump of sell points that I showed you before. There is another sawmill here where you can sell your wood. There is a gas station there as well, so you can fill up with fuel there, and another fuel sell point. So again, with your biodiesel, there's another fuel sell point for you. And we'll head up here, past Wendy's again, and past KFC. And we're just going to hang a left in here, just so you can see it. There's a farmer's market here, which has got quite a lot of places to sell. So, that classic kind of rural weekend farmer's market. Lots and lots of sell points in there, so you can drop off lots of different things there. Now we'll head along here, and we'll just have a look at a couple of the animal buy points, because the way they're set up is quite nice. Just on the way to the animal point here, you come across Hazzard Compost as well, producers of the finest black gold around, and you can drop off compost there and sell it. Now we're just going to run up here, and there we are. We're at the Boar's Head Pig and Horses So what you can do is you can pull into here. There's a Bale sell point here as well, so you can utilise that if you want. Now there's something interesting about the animal sell points on this map. If you've already got animal pens on land you own, you can hit the button here and you can select where you want them to go, which is a nice touch. And then you can ship the cows in as you want. Now if you've got a vehicle, obviously you can load your vehicle and take them back as well. But that's a nice little shortcut. So let's head out of here. So leaving that animal buy point there, and we're going to turn and head back to the main road. But what it does give you a chance to see some of the fields and some of the scenery here. We've not even looked at the amount of trees that are on this map. So there's a huge logging area as well. But it's just nice. Nice rural America. Love it. So just here, a little bit of a detour to Hazzard County Co-op. This is your root crop storage point, so you can drop off your root crops in here, potatoes, beets, things like that. But you can also purchase pig food. So there you go, you just run under there and the conveyor belt loads your truck up. So if you're looking for pig food, there's a buy point for you. Now I'm sure I'm going to get lots of questions about this Mega Cab Dodge, this 2020 version. It's a lovely, lovely, lovely vehicle actually, and it drives well as well. So we will link it in the description, don't you worry about that. Now over here, I've driven past it actually, but as you can see there is another farm here. No house on this one. But lots of storage sheds, nice drying facilities, and silos for silage there as well. Another shed here. And animal pens there as well. So as you can see, that looks like horses and cows on that one. Let the car go past. It's got muddy very quickly, didn't it? It must have been all that real mud. So we'll head up here. So another nice sized farm there with some really good sheds on it. Over another bridge here and the river again. Now here, what we've got is a few more sell points. So if I head under here, this is quite nicely done. That you here can pick up seed, lime, pig food again. These kind of underground areas. And then here you've got your liquid fertilizers and herbicides as well. So that's quite a nice touch, keeping them under the ground. And if I reverse out of here, we'll just nip into the place next door as well, because there's a couple more sell points to show you. We just pull in here. There's another grain drop-off point. So you can sell your grain there, but also potatoes and sugarcane in there. You can also pick up seed. So there's another seed sell point, or buy point even, just in there. So lots and lots of variety here. So we'll just head up to here, and there is another road, another farm there, just so you can see that off in the distance. There is fuel, sheep, no house there, or certainly no sleep trigger. There is a house just there, but again, another place for you. And we'll just pop up here. Now this is the garden centre. So again, option to sell bales here, and sell grain and other things as well. I think you can pick up manure here as well. But yeah, just another multi-purpose sell point. There you go. Silage and manure there as well. Back out to the road, and just so you can get your bearings, we'll jump back to the main map, just so you can grab where we're at. So there we are, sitting between fields 101 and 102. It gives you an idea for how big this map is now. I've been recording for 40 minutes, and yeah, we've maybe only covered a third, not even a third, maybe a quarter of the map, if that. So we'll head up here. This should take a little bit less time to cover off these. Just a couple of farms up here and things to take note of, and then we'll head off over here. So again, just as we pass field 99 here, you'll see another little small holding here with some buildings on it. Again, not marked on the map as an official farm, but definitely somewhere you could buy and get started with. And again here, more silos for both silage and grain. So just so you know where they are, that's all good. And then up here, couple of pig enclosures there, some storage, got some big farm sheds here, a big cow barn again, recognise that from one of the other farms, the same model, and a nice cow pasture there, and looking out over the cliffs here is this beautifully big farmhouse, little garden there as well, but nice views over the fields. And as you can see, actually, I'll just jump out here and show you this. As you can see, this side of the map, a lot more open, a lot more expansive, the fields. Look at that, that's a real big field, that field 62 there. So even on the map, they look small. 62 looks small, but actually it's a huge field. So bear that in mind when you're buying fields. This is a big map. Very big map. Will be a fantastic multiplayer map, and it is set up as a multiplayer map as well. There's actually an XML and a default multiplayer map vehicles folder that you can download with the map as well and get yourself set up that way. Okay, we are right at the top of the map now. So what we're going to do is head due east map-wise and take in some of the other elements. So here we are, we've headed a little bit further east now, and as you can see there is another farm over there next to field 68. Again, not classed as a farm, but lots of buildings over there. I'm not going to go over there, I'll let you go and discover that one for yourselves. But here we go, another small holding here as well, and then we will just arrive on a little auto parts place, and with it another fuel cell point. You see that there, the little blue and white silo, and then obviously a petrol station as well, so you can fill up with fuel there. Now just past the petrol station there you have got the country store, which is a tiny little quaint store. You just pull in here, and this is another grain sell point. You can sell all your different grains here. Just roll over and tip as you would normally. Nothing else here though. I thought they might sell, you might be able to sell eggs and milk and things here, but no, not the case, just more grains. Now just across the road from the country store you have got a rather nice little Bale sell point in here, which you can drive in and have a look at, but also a sheep sell point. So if you want to get rid of some animals you can sell them there, and also this is where you drop off your bales. So nice little sell point, means you don't have to travel too far. But like I was saying before, the detail in, look at that little scrapyard in there, just clever. Well thought through. Okay, back to the road. We're making good progress now. We'll turn down here, probably one of the bigger farms now on the map down here. You know, other than the main start farm. Got a nice large farm here. A little bit more out of the way, but again, with access to the bigger fields. So depending on how you want to play the map, you could do this. Lots of silos to keep you happy. Good animal options there for cows. Grain storage as well here. Nice kind of open yard as well. So lots to do here. And again, as with some of the other farms, your house is a little bit kept away from it, which is nice. Up on a bit of a rise, so you get some lovely views. Nice touch. Now as we head away from the farmhouse there, you can see there is a bridge over there that heads off down into the distance, which actually runs all the way down here. Now I'm not going to go all the way down here because it's quite a long way, so what we'll do is we'll just jump into this pig enclosure. And I'll show you what this entails. This is out in the sticks, this. So you've got yourself a little pig farm there. and over here a house, and you've also got your silo sell point for grain, so you can load up your train here as well. I'll just show you. Actually, you can reverse your truck up, and as long as you've got a train underneath it, you can tip directly into the train. So nice touch there. Bit of health and safety going on as well. Love to see that. So you've got to make sure your train is aligned underneath this hole, but you are able to tip directly from a truck or a tractor and trailer into there. So again, we'll maybe demo that at the end if we've got time. So we've picked the truck up again, and as you can see, there's the country store and the Bale sell point that we were talking about just a minute ago. We are going to head down here. We're nearly done with our little drive around. We'll do a little bit of a flyover and have a look at the trains. But if we head down here, there is a little chicken barn here, just on its own, probably closely linked to this farm here, which is another big farm. Again, this has got cows and chickens available at it. Lots of cereal crop storage as well, and a couple of big silos. So again, another nice big farm. Nice and spacious. Good storage in it as well. And we will head to one of the last points I want to show you before we do a bit of a flyover. So just as we get off this little shortcut back road, we've got another grain sell point here, which you can just back up into, across the tracks. And that grain point actually is a good one because it can load up into the train. And then you've got an Applebee's, which isn't a sell point, but behind the little Walmart here is. So you saw the unload point just there behind the Walmart. Excuse me, lady. So again, lots and lots of different things you can sell at the supermarket. And then you can head back to the road here. Let me just jump out here. You'll see now that we have pretty much covered all of the sell points on the map. There are lots of roads down here which we could drive on, but I think the easiest way to see those is to probably jump and do a loop in the train very quickly. And I'll stop and show you a couple of the main points that is worth highlighting there. In fact, there goes the train just now. Let's see if we can jump on it. Okay, we are on the train loop. So like I said, there are two trains on this map. One that does a loop and one that goes end to end. The loop one's probably the most interesting in terms of the points it passes. The up and down train's interesting because it gets to the end of the line and stops and turns around even if you're on it. So if you remember back, this is the first sawmill that we drove up to before, and I talked about the excavators that we have on it. And then just along here is where the flour mill was. So we'll leave those 2 points, and we're going to join the other line here, the end-to-end line. So the other train will be on here somewhere. You can tab to it as well. So here are the sell points we saw before. There's your biogas plant and your biomass plant. And over here there's the Bale sell point. Up there is the mill. And here's your grain sell points as well. And you can unload and load the train as you see fit there. Okay, let's speed up to full speed and we'll cross over the road here. As you can see, there's McDonald's and KFC and all the places we saw before. So we'll keep going. We'll head into a tunnel here. There's your silage factory and your TMR point. Through the tunnel here. Now, one of the things I did want to show you about the trains, which I quite like, is these little unload points. So as you can see, we've got the grain tanker underneath that tip point. So what I want to do is just reverse this up as close as we can. what you would need to do is open up the hatch on the top, like so. And now that hatch is opened, it's looking like it'll accept wheat, so we can unload that now directly into the train. And when he's done, we can head off in the train again. So we're back in the train now, and as you can see, 23% full of wheat. We'll close the lid. Now we should be able to go and sell that. So we're just heading up to the supermarket here that we were at before. Now I can roll over this unload point here. Let's get it right. There we go. And if I hit the I button now, that starts to unload. So again, you can store it in there. It's not a sell point, it's another storage point. So there you go. You can go and pick that up later and sell it where you need to. But it's just a nice way of moving large quantities of stuff around the map. So we'll head off here into the distance, and that's us virtually done a loop in the train. Now there's one last thing I want to show you before we close off this map tour, and that's a clever little feature in the forestry section. So we'll head along this very scenic little route, and this is something that really put a smile on my face when I was reading the notes for this. So NitroDad has added in here 3 fields that you need to reclaim from forestry land. So what you'll see is they're fields with crops in them, but they're absolutely littered with trees as well. So yeah, if you want a challenge, reclaiming that land could be a whole heap of fun. Now just as we head along here, you can see the amount of forestry on this map is absolutely colossal. There's another logging point to load the train up if you want to move your logs about. But yeah, there are so many trees on this map. I'll be interested to see how this runs on everyone's PCs, because it is a huge map. Now yes, here is what I was talking about. You can see the fields in there. There's actually crops in there, surrounded by trees and shrubbery, and there's 3 of those fields next to each other. So you could have some real fun reclaiming them. And then over the other side is more fields and land back into the farming space. So as we roll along on our little train on our merry way, happily taking in the scenery, I will say to you, go check this out. NitroDad has done an amazing job with this map. It's phenomenal. It's not a new map, like I said, you know. It may have been forgotten about by a few people though, because it's been around for a while. But it is a stunning map. So much stuff on it to take in. So much fun to have with it. And you know, I'm seriously considering how I can get it into one of my series, because it's phenomenal. And there's so much going on it. So if you want a challenge, if you want to do something a bit different, definitely check out Hazzard County by NitroDad. It is fantastic. Fantastic. But thank you very much for watching, and I will put a link to the map in the description below, so you can check that out, and I will see you all again very soon. Take care, and bye for now.